Okay, so this is going to be a walkthrough of the Overgrowth story expert difficulty tutorial, or speedrun, blah, tutorial for that. So when you start, make sure you're on that screen because I'm going to turn this down, the mods need to know what difficulty you're on. Hold on. Making sure I can hear myself talk. So the splits start as soon as you hit enter here. The first thing you want to do is just kind of mash enter so that you skip through that. Getting up here is pretty straightforward. Also, make sure you have played through the entire game before learning the speedrun. Part of this speedrun is just being good at the game. There are some games you can get good at by speedrunning, and some that you can just learn to speedrun before learning to actually complete. This is not one of them. You need to be good at this game before you can speedrun it. So this enemy, you want to hit enter to skip all the text in the game, by the way. This enemy you want to run at and jump and then kick. Like, basically every single enemy you're going to want to kill with a jump kick because it is the strongest attack in the game, and one hit kills every enemy except for a few with a headshot. So what you want to do is you want to hit this enemy and have the recoil put you on top of this building right here. I get it probably 60% of the time, but you know, if the more you practice, the better you get at it. If you are learning this level, I'd suggest you play through every single, if you're learning the run, I would suggest you play through every single level to completion before restarting. But if you know you've got the rest of it down, I would suggest you just, if you miss this, restart your run because it's early enough that it doesn't really impact your flow. You know, if you miss 10 seconds here, you're not really wasting that much time. Let me try it like that, and then almost. So you want to do that because you skip that cutscene and that cutscene. If you walk anywhere inside of there, you will activate the cutscene. And a lot of this game works on required triggers. There are a few that are not required that I'll go over, and you want to make sure that you're using them. When you're strangling this guy, you want to be walking towards this guy so that you can reach him faster, and same, you want to be walking towards here because this guy will end the level for you. Interesting thing is that up there's a trigger for like a few lines of dialogue from Turner, and then it goes to the next level as well, which makes me think you were originally supposed to climb up there and leave the level that way, and then they probably decided that it just took too long. This second level is another one that's pretty interesting in that you skip most of it. Originally I killed this guy, this first guy that pops out here, and then went along, killed the people at the camp, and then continued on through a cutscene and killed the last 3 people. You only need to kill the last 3 people. You don't need to go through any of that. And that I found out just by trial and, you know, figuring it out. You can run away from this guy. Those guys won't follow you. This guy will just kind of forget about you when you get too far away. And if you come up over this hill, rather than going through those, you'll skip this cutscene trigger, which prevents you from having your camera set in a really awkward angle. This section's kind of RNG. You just want to jump kick them as fast as possible. But there's RNG in that, like, if your teammates, your AI teammates are just like that, they're pretty good, they can just go and kill the last enemy or two. Oh, and there's one left. He's the guy from the very beginning. That's neat. Cool conversation turner. But yeah, the RNG of that level, which I'm glad it's early rather than, you know, the end of the game, because it can, in a world record attempt, save or, you know, lose up to a minute. No, not a minute, probably like 30 seconds. In that, like, they could kill 2 enemies and you just have to jump kick 1 rather than jump kicking all 3. This, you just want to jump over. So this is a cycle-based level. If you miss the first cycle, that's really bad. Which I did, actually, because I'm trying to explain. What you want to do is you want to jump around here, and then there's a few crates you want to crawl behind those. So I'm going to retry. Yeah, so this is like, if you miss it, it can take some time. Like, lose some time. So, you know, you jump down here, and quick trick, if you do a dodge roll, or you're holding shift while you're in the air, or whatever your roll button is, when you hit the ground, you'll make no noise. If you're rolling, you will make no noise. This is used a few times. Here's one of them, because there's an enemy that's going to come around. If you just jump and land, you'll make a bunch of noise, he'll hear you and run over and alert all these enemies. If you are holding shift when you hit the ground, you will make 0 noise, and you can just sneak up behind him, and it's no problem. So you want to hide behind this. Enemies also have, like, pretty terrible line of sight. He's looking at me right now, or field of view. He's looking this way right now. As soon as he looks this way, he cannot see, like, to his side whatsoever. And there, I'm using the dodge roll to hide all of my sound. 2 things can happen when you get to this point. One of them will hear you, or one of the people you killed, or see you, and now you're fighting both of them. In which case, jump up here. Enemies jumping have a very obvious, like, position that they're going to land at, and you can use that to jump kick them in the head and instant kill them. And if you do it perfectly, you'll just jump kick and go straight up and be able to hit the second one on their way up as well. If they don't hear you, like they did here, you can... oh, well, I got one, but here's what I'm talking about for the other one. You'll see it's very obvious to tell, like, where they're going to land, and you can kill them pretty easily. But if you manage to get here fast enough, you can kill them, and then go down and deal with them, or kill them and jump down and go around the back and get them, the ground one as well. If you fail that, there are those spikes in the ground, those wooden spikes. Those actually kill you if you land on them. So if you fight, like, let's say you alert a bunch of enemies, you can fight near there, and there's a chance that an enemy will just jump into it and kill themselves. This, you just jump kick him a few times. A few enemies will throw their weapon at you. This guy won't. 1 or 2 jump kicks will, 2 or 3 jump kicks will take care of him. This level is kind of an interesting one, because originally the path that the game tells you to go in is you go around here, get a cutscene, and then you climb up the wall. I saw this when I started playing and thought, oh, what if I jump from here to here, which you can do, and then come around, up around the side, and you can skip that cutscene. I'm now thinking that it's either the same time or you're wasting time, because you have to go to the right and then climb, backtrack to the left, rather than just going to the left and you're already where you need to be. And, you know, skipping the cutscene is 1 key press. It's just you hit enter, and and then you have to kind of like readjust your camera. And then the rest of this level is pretty straightforward, at least this like half of the level. You just do it as the game told you to, you know, I'll jump where you're supposed to. It's just practice, and that was actually not good. Well, obviously that wasn't, I missed it, but you can land here without having to grab it as far as I remember, and then you can just turn around and do that. If you go like this and miss, like, oh, that's interesting. If you go and miss like this, if you retry, there's a chance, like, hold jump, because there's a chance it'll restart you here. Like if you miss it, hold jump and try to gain some height. This is another Sky over there. I think that's Sky. You can skip her cutscene. These are optional enemies, but if you can kill them, and you don't have to worry about them later. The only required enemy in this level is the dog. I forget their name. Like, the enemies here are supposed to, like that, prevent you from just climbing to the top of the tower. But for the most part, you can maneuver your way around them. Stone Fist, that's their name. The dog takes 2 jump kicks to dispose of. Or 3, if I miss. Slowdown's RNG as far as I know. It might be if you kill them in one hit. It might not be. It doesn't affect time too much, and it kind of evens out in the end. This level is probably the one that I fail on. One of them that the most often. Over to the this wheat field over here. There's going to be an enemy that walks towards it. I'm going to constantly roll to get on the far left side and then roll behind them, because if you're rolling, you have crouched height, meaning they can't see you. And if you keep rolling, you make no noise, meaning they can't hear you. And you still keep your standard like walking speed, unless you're going uphill. So I'll get to that and then keep talking. Also, I hit E really quick there, just so that I would take out my knife and do that. So here, this is something I'm actually still trying to kind of figure out, which is you've got this guy. This is your main threat. He has a cleaver that will kill you in one hit. If, you know, actually I'm going to try. If you can get the cleaver from him without alerting anyone else. Yeah, no, I don't think you can. Then that's like crazy optimal. Actually, that might just be the way to do it, but it's harder. The easy way to do this level, or at least easier, there are 2 methods. One is slower and easier. The other is, you know, medium speed, but slightly harder. You have to alert these 2 enemies. At least, yeah. So what the easy one is you kill this guy and then jump on the roof and wait for this rabbit and the dog to move over here. And once they have, and the dog's in front of the rabbit, you can sneak up behind the rabbit and grab it and kill it, and then actually he's gonna walk this way, so you want to sneak up behind this guy, grab it and kill it, behind this guy, grab it and kill it, and then you can deal with the dog on its own. What I'm going to do, and what I normally do, is I wait for the dog to be just past this rabbit, and then I grab the rabbit and kill it, and then deal with these 2 at the same time. Because by the time this guy realizes that he's dead, he's still standing, and so you may be able to jump kick him in the head if your timing is good enough. fight near this fire, it can be good, because if you can jump kick one of these into the fire, they'll die. That sucks. That is one of the things that's like, if they throw that at you, there's not much you can really do about it. If that happens, just restart. It's early enough into the level that you're not wasting much time. And, you know, like, you lose way too much time trying to deal with all of them at once. Or you can go in that order. And yeah, really this guy's the big problem of this level. My worst is I've had to redo it probably 7 times in a run. And my best is, you know, second try. Oh, that was really bad. I don't know why I did that. Jump kicking him is not a good idea. You will either fling yourself into view or fling yourself away and then you lose time. Okay, that's good. The cleaver missed. If the cleaver misses, you're pretty much fine. They'll either try again and miss by a ton like that, or they just won't pick it up anymore. This guy, excuse me, you want to just run and jump kick him like normal. Your optimal strategy is he doesn't do anything. You want to get kind of close before you actually attempt the jump kick, and once he's on the ground, if you're close, you can just whack at him with the cleaver. If you're not close, you know, jump kick him again. If he throws you, you know, like, it's kind of a reactionary thing. That's where I'm saying you need to get good at the game before you try to speedrun it. This is the Assassin's Creed level, where you're supposed to be sneaky. The game tells you, like, kill as little people as possible, and you can kill everyone, but it's actually far more optimal to do as the game says and kill as little people as possible by just climbing up here and then jumping around the right side of the level. Like, you do not need to visit any of this level. There are 2 scenarios once you get onto the ship, because, let me get him in view, this guy moves back and forth on a cycle, and depending on which one you make, like that's pretty close. No, yeah, I missed it. Yeah, so now this is pretty much dead. If you do that, you will always be on perfect cycle. Oh, you're supposed to take out your knife first. But yeah, they have pretty garbage hearing if you take out your knife first. Oh, crap. So yeah, you want to go for this guy, then that person, and this one last. If your movement is correct, you can do 1 roll, 2 roll. Otherwise, just 1 roll and then crawl. Or, you know, crouch walk. This guy, you can. This is, I think, the only dog I've been able to jump kick and kill in 1 hit. Because if you get it correct, you can kick him, and then his head hits the door, and it deals twice as much damage. It is just a very hard thing to do. Oh, there we go. Or it hits the ground and it does twice as much damage. It's just a very hard thing to do. And if you can do it, it's very good. If you can't, don't worry about it. These 2 fights are the other thing. Like, another thing I redo a ton. Specifically this cat, because they like to throw their things at me, and that does a bunch of damage. And it normally 1 hit kills you. if you can do that, you know, just react well, then you don't need to worry about it. 20 minutes, okay. Probably gonna be a hour and a half long video. So this is the only skip in the game, other than the earlier trigger skips. Like, you're supposed to jump from here to there, to there, to there, or to there, and you can skip these two if you just get a running start and jump straight to the fourth one, like this. That's the only skip in this level, because this is a fun story. I was looking for a skip in this level and got to a point and I thought, oh man, you can skip grabbing 2 ledges if you do this thing instead, and it saves about 10 seconds. That's really cool. You know, considering this level is, I think like 2 minutes and 10 seconds if you do it correctly. What you're supposed to do is jump from here to there, up there, wall run, and then jump up to there. What I realized is, oh man, you can grab this, do like this, and then just, oh man, it's pretty precise, but you can climb up there and then climb up the rest of the level. The thing is, because of that, you miss one trigger. And this level has the trigger set up so that if you miss one, the rest won't activate, and that includes fighting Frost at the top. Meaning you can't fight Frost, meaning you can't finish the level. And I think that there's also one retry skip, which I think is like here. No, it's like right after. If you know, if you, I think maybe if I jump like this and then retry, yeah, it sends me up a little bit. Retry skipping is something that I'm interested in routing out, but it's probably going to be a task only thing, with a few exceptions. It's just you can skip to respawn points which are ahead of their triggers, and it really only saves a second or two. So this is the Frost fight with the most important line of dialogue in the game. I want to say, run, take out your sword, throw. If it hits, that's some free damage. If not, don't worry about it, and then just run and do this until Frost is dead. If you want to be stylish, you can pull your sword out and deal some extra damage, but Frost tends to jump out of the way before you can do that. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't do much more damage than just a jump kick. I think this level's called Dog Fort. This first dog guard does a really good job at being a guard. You can just jump over him and he won't bother you. You don't have to kill him. That's utilizing the holding shift in midair so you don't make noise and you just hit every single enemy here twice. 2 things can happen. If you kill that dog a little earlier than I did, this guy will run out and you can just walk around this left side. Otherwise, wait for him to get here, hit him twice, and then get back into cover. If that guy sees you, like he did, you want to make sure he stops following you by doing something like this and, you know, getting on top of the wall. And if you crouch while on top of the wall, they can't see you anymore and they will return to their post. That wastes a bit of time, and I might retry this section just so I can show you what it's supposed to look like. But yeah, if he doesn't see you, what you want to do is do this, and then just get the 2 hits off like this, and then kill this one, and then this one, and then you jump up here, because normally that dog will be walking back. you kind of shift and fall. I'll show you. I'll retry. So what you want to do is like this. Back off. He's like, oh crap, there's a... Oh, is there not a dead guy? Okay. There. Now he'll see the dead guy, like that. He's like... Sees it, runs over. You can stand like right here and take him out. Air dodge for style points. That was good. You know, jump kick back up strats. Oh, it looks like he's running over to investigate everything going on over there. But yeah, normally you would jump up here and then sneak over and fall onto this enemy. Looks like he's trying to jump at me though. That's weird. If they stop seeing you, they'll just return to where they're supposed to go. Hello? Where is he? Oh, there he is. I guess he didn't stop seeing me. But yeah. You don't have to, there's a cutscene inside of that little fort. You don't have to do it. This guy is jump kick as normal. His weapon is a little scary because it has a ton of reach and will kill you in 1 or 2 hits depending on where it hits you. Do not fight him using the sword, and do not try to throw the sword at him, it will not work. This is probably my favorite level in the game, just because of how funny it is. This guard has a cleaver, which kills every single one of these enemies in 1 hit. Because of how rolling works and dampening your sound, you can just roll up behind them, throw, grab this, and 1 and 2 and 3. This is like the easiest level in the game. That being said, it is very easy to mess up this level just by doing something like that, or if you miss the kill or are too far away, the second guard will see you and he will be angry and you cannot easily hit him like that. Also, I hit this guy instead of throwing the thing at him. If you kill this first one, you can just throw the thing and he won't notice, it'll kill him instantly. It's slightly faster. I'll try this again. Oh, that's not good. That wasn't the right one. Okay, that's fine. Come on. Yeah, so like, because of how easily you dispose of these guys with this cleaver, and I don't know what this weapon's actually called, I just called it a cleaver. It's probably like a machete or something, but yeah, you want to just... Oh crap, that's not good. But yeah, you just want to throw the weapon at him. You don't want to worry about actually hitting him. This level is just parkour. There is like 1 tiny ledge grab skip at the end, but you know, it saves like half a second. It's not a big deal. move the camera while you're falling, that's a pretty good idea, just because your directional input matters very little once you're in the air. So yeah, right here you can either climb this and then jump up, or you can just like, no, not like that. Not like that either. Like that, and then grab it. It saves like a quarter to half of, yeah, to half of a second. This is the level that takes me the most retries. In this level, I think it's 2 or 3 enemies will jump down from the top and fight you, and then one comes from behind with a knife. You want to kill the guy with the knife first, not so that you have the knife, but so that they don't. So I'm gonna turn around, and if he plays nice, you can just hold W and then do that. I missed. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna retry this. Mostly because you want to do this as fast as possible so that you can meet up with Crawl and he can draw the enemy's attention. There we go. That should be good. Yeah, Crawl draws the enemy's attention very nicely, making it pretty easy to deal with them. And if you're lucky, he might even kill an enemy for you. Crap, that's not good. And I'm gonna do something kind of weird. Okay, this isn't good. Wow, I'm doing pretty terribly. This is what I mean by, like, this is the level I reset on the most. I'm gonna do something kind of weird when I finally kill all of these guys, which is reset as soon as, like, retry as soon as I kill, or not as soon as I kill them all, but as soon as the next group of enemies jumps down, because of 2 things. 1, it revives Crawl, meaning I have a new sandbag for them to focus on. 2, it restores all of my health. And if you want to be arbitrary about it, 3, it saves time, because you'll probably just die anyway. So as soon as I see enemies on the top, I'm going to retry and then fight them. I'll try to get Crawl over here. Gotta say, I'm pretty glad Crawl is on your side in this game, because otherwise, he'd probably kill you. He has, like, way too much health for a rat. He can get stabbed, like, probably 12 times without dying. This level is on a cycle as well. The important thing is to get to the enemies quickly. If you die, the cycle is pretty much exactly what you want it. And this cycle is also, like, pretty lenient. Well, when you get to the enemy, if you restart, the cycle isn't perfect. It's, like, a little slow. You waste 1 or 2 seconds. But, you know, the cycle is pretty lenient on your way down there. Just because if you run down here perfectly, you're going to have to wait a second anyway. Because what you want is for this first guy to turn around, and then you will roll after him. that's not good. Retry that. Okay, you want this first guy to turn around. No, no, you don't see me. Okay. That is not good. What the heck? Why the heck? This is really strange. Oh, it's because of that one. I see. Yeah, I normally don't do this retry strat. Yeah, I see. Okay, so if you're going to retry, normally you would grab that first one. If you're going to retry, it looks like you have to grab this guy first. And then this one. And then this one. And then this one. But yeah, if you get here with good timing, you want to get this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. This level I kind of dislike, both casually and in the speedrun. Casually because it's confusing, because it's like, oh, I don't know which way I'm supposed to go, and you can't see anything, so you can't see that there's fire here. In the speedrun I don't like it because there's like a bush that makes you go slow. Rats are pretty easy. They take one jump hit per. They're pretty short though, so, you know, hitting them can be tricky. Please let me out of this tree. Oh, that didn't kill him. Probably because I like hit him in a really bad spot or something, just in the arm or something. This level has, as far as I know, an unskippable cutscene just because of how big the trigger box is. You might be able to skip it by going all the way around this tree, but there's a like weird geometry there that I do not want to deal with. If you trigger these enemies instead of grabbing onto the rock, you can climb up the tree with them following you. They won't follow you up the tree. They will just be very annoying at the base and like prevent you from getting onto this first thing up here. Other than that, the you don't have to kill them, and the like path to get up here is identical. Although you might be able to do something like this. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'll try it one more time. Yeah, you can do that instead of jumping back there. Don't think it saves all that much time. This level is very different from casual. Casually, you're supposed to sneak around and then get them as they're looking for you. In the speedrun, they're right next to each other, and enemies next to each other means you can kill them quickly because you don't need to travel as much. So what you're going to do is run. No, not like that. Kill one. Oh, I missed, but, you know, just kill them all like this. Just jump kick. Because the jump kick is stronger than any weapon other than the cleaver. Yeah, good time on that level is, how much? The shallow swamp? Good time on that level is like 30 seconds. Okay. I got 34 because I messed up on my last run and like missed twice. So this level, you want to jump like that, and you want to jump kick this guy. Not like that. Here, I'll retry. If you miss by like getting stuck on this branch or something, that, and then this guy comes after you. If you miss by getting stuck on the branch, this guy will come after you. Like, you'll get the notice that this guy's running after you before you kill him, but it's pretty much the same. This guy you're supposed to sneak up behind. Instead, we're gonna... Okay, no. Instead, you're gonna use him to go faster. Because if you jump kick him, while you're on the other side of him, you'll gain a bunch of speed. So if I go like this, well, that wasn't perfect, but I still did manage to travel farther down. This guy got a jump kick because he's too slow. And these guys are more jump kicks. That was bad. That was also bad. You're not given the best camera here. The guy without the helmet should take 1, maybe 2 if you hit him in a bad spot. The guy with the helmet should take 2, maybe 3 if you hit him in a bad spot. The rest of the game is pretty short. You're really like halfway into the game at this point, but half of the game past this point is cutscenes. This rabbit will take 2 head kicks minimum. More than that, and you've missed. Like you've hit him in the shoulder or something. This level is skippable, except it gives you this garbage camera angle. There are big hitbox triggers around all 3 of these NPCs. You want to jump over all of them, where I missed, so I'm going to retry. Ah, crap. Forget the exact, like, position. Well, that's not it. I jumped into it. Yeah, like that. You just want to skip it. It just skips fade out and pushing a key and then reorienting your camera. This is more jump kicks. The only dangerous thing is getting your angle like perfect so that you don't fall in lava and you don't hit one of those lava pillars, which do kill you. They count as lava. Okay. If you can trick them to falling down there, they will die, and it's easy. Midnight might be able to take care of one of these guys, but other than that, I wouldn't count on it. And, oh, there's still one. Oh, there's still 2. Okay. Wow, okay, I died. Yeah, I can't believe Midnight died without killing any of them. There we go. And for the wolf, it's the same story. You jump kick and try to climb back up if you can. The one thing is that, like, I have lost the wolf like this a few times. I think his name's Fang. And that's the fire. That's the lava for you. Yeah, I've lost him a few times where he'll, like, throw Midnight really far away and then chase after her. There he is. And he just, okay, that works. You know, it's just basic combat. Volcano Climb. This is a level I enjoy a lot, but can be annoying. there's pretty much only one path you can take going up, but going down there are a few, and depending on which you take, it can take you slightly longer and be crazy easy, or take you like slightly less time and be crazy difficult, just because of how the physics work in this game, where you will bounce off of walls even though you shouldn't. This can save a little bit of time if you, well, not like that, if you climb onto this little thing and then jump up here rather than climbing stuff twice like that. Oh crap. Let me just get up here. You don't need to make that last one, and from here you go there. It's just small skips. I don't think you can make that from here. Yeah, no, you can't. Figured I'd check. Oh, that's odd. I guess there's a trigger up there, but unlike Ice Lake, Ice Climb, whatever that's called, it's not required to get there at the to get the top one. Oh, I didn't need to make that last climb, and I guess I won't again. Huh, now my save is up here. That's weird. You shouldn't need to land on that lower one. You should be able to reach this. You do not want a full jump. Let Tucker, or Turner, not Tucker, let Turner grab it. It's safer. So you can either go down every single one and it's slightly slower, or you can take this path, which is slightly faster but crazy dangerous because you can fall from things that you have no control over. But hey, it's a speedrun. What do you want, safety? I normally don't make that first try. Cutscene that you skip. This one, 3 rabbits are going to jump at you. You just want to jump kick one, get to the middle, jump kick another, get to the middle. Because of how predictable they're, jump kick one, get away. Jump kick another, get away. Just because of how predictable their jump path is. Dog, same thing. You run at him and jump kick. Like, welcome to combat in Overgrowth speedruns. And same thing for this one with the sword. The one thing is that this one can throw the sword at you, which will kill you instantly, and you can't really do anything about. So if he does that, hope it misses, and then prevent him from picking it up again. Midnight's plan is another cutscene, and then Cave Assassin has an interesting quirk to it in that there is a weapon you can pick up. There's a cleaver, and if you get it, it makes the fight at the end like crazy easy. If you get it and then die at any point, you lose it, and so it makes the fight at the end kind of RNG. Don't try to jump from there to there. It will trigger the cutscene and you will be set here anyway. Let me do this jump. I think you can make that, yep. Roll and grab, and then ignore this enemy. You don't need to kill any of them except for the cat and rabbit at the end. These guys will throw stuff at you, but it will never hit. This is a super dangerous thing that I hate the devs put in the game. Other than that, the only dangerous jump is at the very end when you do the wall jump onto the final platform. Right here. Because you can gain way too much momentum, and now I've lost my sword. And if you grab it, they do this cool thing where you then gain more momentum. If you grab the cleaver, you know, kill them with that. If not, jump kick the cat, she'll take the weapon, jump kick her, she'll die. If you have the cleaver, you can just cleave, they're both dead. It's just very hard to do because of how they conserve momentum when you like enter that cutscene. This combat is going to be you do all the work while your partner stands around. 1 jump kick, 2 jump kicks. Round 1 is over. One jump kick, 2 jump kicks, and then if you're lucky, they'll take it out. If not, you can take it out. And wolves. For some reason, my game lags here. Not sure why. Probably all the rain. But it normally only lags during the wolf fights. Or the wolf fight, there's only one. Midnight Duel is a weird one. You want to jump kick immediately, which is kind of hard to do because of, like, you know, enter is normally with your right hand. So what I do is I move my left hand to enter on my thumb with my pinky on space and my right hand still on the mouse so that I can click fast enough. And it looks like this. No, not like that. Not like that either. Not like that. Like that. If you can get Midnight onto that table, she'll get stuck. And normally that means that you can like just finish the fight easy. Like, she will get stuck up here and not figure out how to get down. It is very easy. The game will crash here. It happens every single time. What I would recommend is you just Alt F4 to close, and then go to level select and load the level manually. Like, you will have to do after it's crashed, like it has. Like, if you see it, the game will crash here. What's the program? Just go and open it again. I would recommend you close the game before it crashes. Check the description to make sure that I have not updated it. If I have emailed Wolfire about this already, and if they have fixed it, I will update the description saying do not do that anymore. It's really unfortunate it happens the second to last level. I don't know why it happens, but it has happened in every single speedrun I've done. It's something about playing every single level in order. I have no idea. It's not a mod. It is not like anything weird. This enemy is probably the funniest enemy to fight in the game. She has a sword. What's her name? Jade, right, of course. She's got a sword and 2 knives, I forget what they're called, that she'll throw at you. She will kill you in 2 hits. Fighting her with a sword is not an option. Jump kicking is not an option because she'll throw the things and then you'll die. I'm struggling trying to figure out how do you do this quickly. It is simply you run forward, and as soon as you're close enough, you throw your sword at her. It is kind of amazing that this works. I have no clue why. It works like every single time, with a few exceptions of like if I get my angle wrong or RNG doesn't favor me. Like that one was one, that one was one. Stab me. There's another one. It's kind of amazing that that works. I find it hilarious. This one, you want to immediately run left, jump, because you want these guards to throw their sword at you. That means you can pick it up. Okay. That means you can pick... There's a chance that they won't. Rolling encourages so that you can pick it up and hit them with it. Jump kicking is more damaging, but if you're down to just one, the sword can be better. You need this sword for fighting Amethyst, because Amethyst will die in one hit if you hit enter and then spam click. Like, that is guaranteed. It always works. She will always jump directly towards you. So this is the stealthy part of the game where you're supposed to sneak around and avoid all of the cat enemies, but you can just run past them and they will do nothing. Because they are slow. And then you jump up here and you finish the level. This is the longest level in the game. It takes 5 to 7 minutes or more, depending on your skill level. And there isn't really anything you can do to make it go faster, as far as I can tell. Because there are 2 cutscenes that, as far as I know, are required. Well, there's like 4 cutscenes, 5 cutscenes, but like 2 of them that seem skippable, as far as I know, are required. That one's not. I've never seen it. You just climb it like normal and make mistakes as little as you can. There's not really much you can do to save time here. And I always lose my path. Right, you just jump really far. I always forget where to go. So I'll find myself looking around randomly. This jump's annoying. Like, I either do that or hold on too long. You kind of want to just run and then immediately jump. Not like that, though. Like, I hate this jump. This is my least favorite jump in the game. Maybe if I jump closer to the wall. Nope, because then I run out of momentum too fast. And for some reason I jumped there. That's weird. But yeah, this jump takes me the most tries out of any jump. I don't understand why it's here. I don't understand why it takes so much effort. Or how you can mess it up so easily. What the heck? I normally don't even have this much trouble with it, but... This is ridiculous. I swear I have the world record in this game. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't understand. Like, this is what I do every single time and it's not working. Okay, there we go. I figured it out. You want to do this weird long jump? It skipped. So you jump really far and then immediately jump afterwards. This is a weird jump. I don't like it. so you like barely grab the edge. Originally, I didn't see those scratch marks. I thought you had to do this weird wall climb up like that. You can just do that and it works fine. That's a jump I always forget about. This is the first cutscene that might be skippable, but I don't think so. So you just wait for it and then hit enter to skip it. This is a weird jump that you like do almost vertical and then jump at the last second. This is a cutscene I managed to skip once, but might be required, so don't. Until, like, you know, we find out more. I might, I'll update this description as well for that. The rest of this is straightforward climb. If you want to have some fun, you can spam click when you respawn to try to do a like standing air jump like that. As far as I know, it wastes no time when you're turning the camera, and so, you know. These guys you want to hit off the edge, but it's very difficult. And what you actually want to do is you want to run up here and get in this room, because while they're fighting you, none of the other cutscenes will play, meaning you skip a cutscene and you can grab this cleaver and kind of take care of them, no problem. And then you just stand over here and wait for the next cutscene to play. Not like that though, that's not good. Jump kicking, as always, is the optimal strategy. I think he's the chief, is like the only thing that you need to worry about. Which is that he's going to kick and then immediately hit you. I dodge roll out of the way, and then 2 jump kicks will take care of him. I dodge roll out of the way, and then 2 jump kicks will take care of him. He can sometimes get stuck in the water, and it makes the actual jump kicks pretty easy. Or, you know, does big jumps like that into the water and out of the water, making the jump kicks pretty easy. And then you've beaten the game. So that was, you know, a run through in a little over an hour with mistakes. So my current best run is 41:34. I predict that the game can be run at around 35 minutes. RTA probably 32 with tasks, with stuff like perfect retry skips. But yeah, that's the expert difficulty speedrun. I don't know how it differs from easy or hardcore. I've never speedrun those. I might though, just so I can have the record. Thanks for watching. You can find a link to the speedrun.com page in the description, as well as any updates. Yeah, I guess that's it. Hope that you all make good speedruns, and, you know, we get the leaderboard filled up pretty quick.